I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to and what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan, your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be f***ing sour, take a cold shower, scream until you're louder, work until you're prouder, and f*** all the doubters, they're just young downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought.
I can tell you that 7 years after Freddie Gray, that was 2015, spring, April, May. This is 2022. Communities like Sandtown, all we saw then and now in terms of investment was a renovated Western District Police Station and a new funeral home. That's what West Baltimore got. A new police station and a new funeral home. What kind of optics are they?
Was Freddie Gray any different than 1968 Baltimore riots? Dr. King's passing, killing, murder? This is the same?
No, it wasn't. I mean, I think, well, first of all, people who are being violent and burning, that's, you know, all that's the same. But the point is what was the cause and what were they attempting to register?
I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns.
I love you.
They deserve an ounce. It's got next. And I'll be up. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns.
First name's Donnie, last name's Glover. Entered the winning for the long haul, baby. Woo. One more morning. Praise the Lord. Here we go. Friday morning. Let's do this thing. The first Friday of the year. Woo, woo. We made it. Praise the Lord. No, I just want to take a moment. I've been wanting to do this all week. And for whatever reason, it seemed just seemed like I couldn't get to it. But I want to take a moment to just thank the good Lord. Let us pray. All wise and almighty God, we just say, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for keeping hurt, harm, and danger away from our doors as we slept through the night. There's so much to be thankful for. Although this city, Baltimore, has had its share of tragedies, including the young man DeAndre, a young Edmondson West Side student who was killed this week, the others who were shot, and a community and a city that has been traumatized. We pray for this murder victim. We even pray for the killers. What has happened to us, Lord, that we have become so callous? There was a time when Black people in this country just wanted to be free. There was a time when greedy and selfish people made owning people the priority of the day. The dehumanizing of another human being. Around 1865, that changed. But look at us now, Lord. 150 years later. We're not worried about the clan today. We're worried about the brother man. The brother man. The one that looks like me. In this country, a black person's more likely to be killed by a black person. After all that we have gone through, what happened to us, Lord? What happened to make us like savages? I hate the word. I hate the history of the word. That's what pilgrims would call the indigenous people, some of whom were black. They called the indigenous people savages, the same people who fed them and clothed them and showed them how to plant. And as easy as it is to point fingers at others, the news would suggest that it was two young black men who unloaded. What happened to us? When did we get so stupid? Bless this show, Lord. Bless us to touch people, to lift up spirits. There are people who watch this show from behind the walls, the returning citizen. The black community makes up 13, 14, 15% of the American population, but 50% of the prisons, 50% of the murder victims, 50% of the murderers. That just didn't happen. Institutional racism is the source. But how long can we play that card? How long before the devils at Fox 45 are actually telling the truth? But their hands aren't clean, Lord. They point fingers at Marilyn Mosby, but won't say a word about the traitorous Trump. Nonetheless, Lord, bless us all. Bless the show. In your name, amen. All right. So Renny Bastard forgot his assignment this morning. We're going to try him one more time. But we're going to talk today about the future of Baltimore. We had a new state's attorney that joined us this week, gave his inauguration speech. Good morning, Nina. Matthew Henson Elementary School. Carol Crowley. Good morning, Carol. So I guess Renny forgot his assignment. You're going to call back in the middle of the show, I know. You're in the dentist chair. Renny Bass is in the dentist chair. All right, well, we know how to deal with that. So I'm the author of 2 books. Oh, you want to see a gift I got myself? got myself a book. The name of the book is What We Owe Each Other, A New Social Contract for a Better Society. A young man named Zane Cypress suggested I get this book from one of the leading, and this lady is from Egypt. Her name is Minouche Shafiq. I'd never heard of her, but my business coach, Zane's, suggested I get this book from one of the leading experts of our time, an urgent rethinking of how we can better survive, how we can better support each other to thrive. Isn't that Black Wall Street, us helping us? What we owe each other, a new social contract for a better society. Now, I did peep page 1 yesterday, and I found the very first page 1, not the preface, but page 1. I found the opening sentence worth sharing with you. Society is everything. Many of us go through life thinking we are self-made and self-sufficient. Some may credit or blame their families for their lot in life. But rarely do we think about the bigger forces that determine our destinies. The country we happen to be born in, the social attitudes prevalent at a particular moment in history. Like I was born in 65 and Dr. King got killed in 68. And it was around that time that the white powers that be in the greater Baltimore and Maryland area came to the very clear understanding that they had better share some of the resources. They had better loosen their chokehold on the Black community. And then Black people started moving west of Fulton Avenue, north of North Avenue. Actually, that happened around the 50s, but you get the drift. In Baltimore, did you know there was a time when Black people could not live above North Avenue? We couldn't live west of Fulton Avenue. It was all white. Yeah, Nina, up there where we lived at, all white. Late 40s, all white. We started moving in there, and slowly but surely, it became the Black community. We started moving to Randallstown. Now, there were those with money who had always lived where they wanted to live, but we're talking about the masses. In this city, the home of segregation, which goes back to 1910, when Baltimore Mayor J. Barry Mahul said he tried to make it legal where whites couldn't move into Black communities and Blacks couldn't move into white communities. See, it's one thing when you say, okay, Blacks can't move into white communities. But when you tell white people that they can't move into Black communities, see, that's psychologically traumatizing to white people. Honestly, I have seen since Freddie Gray and the consent decree of 2015 in this city, I have never seen so many poor white people in my life. I'm on the air. I have to call you back, okay? I just want to tell y'all out there, my show is 9 a.m. If you're going to call yourself a friend of mine, you call me between 9 and 10, then I got to wonder what kind of friend you are. All right, so let me read you a little bit more of this, What We Owe Each Other. Well, I guess that was really it. I wanted to read you the opening line because I found it so, some may credit or blame their families for their lot in life, but rarely do we think about the bigger forces that determine our destinies, the country we happen to be born in, the social attitudes prevalent at a particular moment in history, the institutions that govern our economy and politics, like the Maryland State Lottery, amen, and the randomness of just plain luck. And luck does happen. You don't go to school for luck, though. And then I heard a gangster say, it's not whether or not you can get the money. It's can you keep the money. When I look at television and I see Kevin Hart. Now, I used to be the biggest fan of Kevin Hart. Alexis had me liking Kevin Hart. Alexis was the first person who just told me how funny Kevin Hart was. Went to a show. I'll never forget it. Hey, brother Lenny Dawson, all the way out there. Where's Cole at? But now I'm seeing Kevin Hart on television every 5 minutes talking about sports gambling. I'm sorry, Kevin Hart. I hate to do this to you because I do love your comedy. I do love your comedy. How much is Kevin Hart worth? And I don't go around counting people's money. What is Kevin Hart's net worth? $450 million. And you pushing sports gambling on my people, son. Son, wake up. All money ain't good money. You got $500 million and you pushing sports gambling on me? And come on, get a commercial a little better. I like to see little Kevin Hart on that big bed. It just look like, it just looks weird. $450 million, and you pushing sports gambling. You've been empowered to trick our people? Come on, shawty. Come on, little Kev. Lord Kev. I was explaining to a person my dad's nickname, the Carol Alexis Michael Randolph. I was explaining to a friend of mine my dad's nickname. They call my dad Doc Glover. They called him Doc. Y'all have never seen me drink water before, have you? I do drink water. Getting better at it. Told you, got some New Year's goals. Practice them goals. They called my dad Doc because he was a film director. As my brother would explain, both of them actually. Doc knew every bone in the human body. So they called him Doc. I mean, he was a film director, mortician. But if they called him Doc, then they called me Little Doc. And I was explaining that little was probably spelled in our day, L-I-L, Lil, like Lil Kevin Hart, with $450 million, who's pushing predatory practices on his people. How much money do you need, shawty? Well, do you know how to, hey Nina, do you know how we spell Lil today? L-O-R. So it went from little to Lil, like Lil Willie. In other words, they would spell Lil Willie, L-O-R Willie, Lil Willie Adams. You get my drift. All right, so make sure you are expanding the brain. A new social contract for a better society. Let me read one of the comments on this book. This is from Michael Sandel. In this timely, and let me hold up the book again, What We Owe Each Other. In this timely call for a new social contract, Minouche Shafiq, and I apologize if I mispronounce your name, excuse me, invites us to rethink what we owe one another as citizens. I think we owe each other respect, decency. I believe in giving back. That's how I was raised. That's what I learned. What are you talking about, Nina? We were taught to whom much is given, much is required. We have to give back. If you don't give back, you know, where we grew up on Moreland Avenue, I think of people like Miss Askew, who had a grandson, Donald Askew. Miss Askew worked at she volunteered at Matthew Henson Elementary School. Gorgeous Black woman, and she had a head of hair. No doubt she had some indigenous roots. But what we always remember about Miss Askew was she was kind, she was humble, and she came and volunteered at the school. there was a woman in Nina's block, in the 1700 block of Moreland. And so her address would have been 1701, right there on the corner. And you knew if you were coming up Presbury Street, on her side, don't drop no trash. That's right. I said, don't drop no trash. Why? Because she would come out of that door and ask you to politely pick it up. Politely, but vociferously request that you pick up that trash. Right there, 1701 Moreland Avenue. Miss McCaden. Yes. Yes. She would come out, and if you made too much noise, she would come out. She would check behavior. I was sharing on WEAA this week about, I lost my train of thought, about Mary Carter Smith and the social contract she gave us when we went on the air WEAA. Mary Carter Smith taught us that when you're on these airwaves, particularly there at Morgan State University, we have a unique and distinct obligation to use the airwaves to help lift up our brothers and sisters. When Kwaisi, now I don't know who the other co-founders were of WEAA. I guess I should, and I will learn that. But I do know that Kwaisi and Fume, at least one story I heard was that he was on WEBB, didn't like some management decisions, and left and said he was going to start his own. I know the WEAA started because, just like I started Be More News and the North Avenue Review, it was and is important to me and this network that we have a voice, that counters the BS, the chicanery, the foolishness uttered by Fox News every day. Patrice on Channel 45, gorgeous black lady. Don't mean I agree with everything that they do there at Fox. And you're going to need more than $450 million or a pretty face for me to act like I don't see what's going on. You never say anything good about black people on Fox. You always have us playing the victim. We don't see strong black men. We don't see the conversation about the white addicts, for instance, no disrespect, in my alley. But every day you talk about the squeegee kids as if the squeegee kids are the common denominator on what's wrong with Baltimore. The squeegee kids aren't the problem in Baltimore. Fear is the problem in Baltimore, beginning with those with money and power in the white community who refuse to invest in East and West Baltimore. Other than Cherry Hill, and that's not East or West Baltimore, when is the last time we had a new recreation center in our city? I've heard a lot of gibberish. There's one over there, John Eager Howard, but it's closed off from the community. It's the new Dorothy Height. Where's the investment in our community? In a majority black city, where do our young people want to go after school? Is there any wonder why there's shooting going on, why young people are riding dirt bikes? In all of our mess, we haven't done anything for the young people. What have we done? We've raised $15, $16 billion off the Maryland State Lottery. What have we done with this money for our young people? We have a bunch of sellout-ass politicians. That's what we got at the end of the day. Pardon my language, but that's the truth. We got a bunch of politicians who claim they love our people, but where's the evidence? Where's the investment in the black community? Where are the new super wrecks in East and West Baltimore? Bentlow wreck, Easterwood wreck, Lillian Jones wreck, John Eager Howard. Those institutions don't exist. Like went past Greenmount wreck. When the last time, when did somebody think, you know what? Let's build a big wreck on Greenmount. We got all of these new houses. We got all of these white people moving in. Nobody thought, say, hey, 24th and Greenmount, get them people a brand new wreck, a big wreck, a super wreck. All the dope you done sold on Greenmount Avenue, all the people you done locked up in the diagnostic, the penitentiary, the city jail, the fishbowl. Where's the investment in good stuff? This is what we have settled for. We used to settle. We are settling people. Damn shame we settle so much. We settle. Why do we settle so much? Why do we settle? We accept anything. These politicians don't know what they're doing. They do not know what they're doing. Mwah, 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 mwah. They don't know what they're doing. If they knew what they were doing, they would do it. They don't. Commissioner, we give you the power to now do the arrest. Did I miss something? What in the hell has been going on for the past 8 years? I now give you the power, Commissioner, to do your job. What the hell did you say? Did I miss something? Or I'm the bada bull that the police haven't been doing their job because of Marilyn Mosby, right? Man, come on. Are you serious? I'm supposed to believe that? What the hell have you been doing for all this time? I mean, because the picture that's been painted that troubles me is like Ivan Bates is going to be Jesus. Okay, maybe I just misread it wrong, but that's the impression that's been thrust upon us. You can now do your job. You can lock people up for little dumb stuff. Well, I hope they start in my alley and get these damn addicts out of my alley trying to break in the houses. Because we don't have a squeegee kid problem in East Baltimore, in West Baltimore. As a matter of fact, we are proud of young men who get up and go and try to do a squeegee versus slinging a rock, dope, or coke. We're proud of them. Now, I'm not talking about the ones that go down and start trouble. Not all want to start trouble. But let Lord Mackenzie Frost, Fox need to pay her more money. I saw that young lady with some open-toe shoes. I couldn't believe she didn't get a pedicure. I mean, we all have our challenges. But I was like, ooh. For you to be up in people's faces all the time, you ought to tighten up on that backstroke, Mackenzie. Going around intimidating. Go intimidate somebody. You know, they didn't do this to Martin O'Malley. Now, black people, if you get in office, you got to have a stiff jab for a little McKenzie come up in your face. You got to know how to talk to him. I answered your damn question. Are you slow? Like she gonna grill every black politician. Come on, Patrice. As if there aren't any intelligent black people to talk to. You know, I'm tired of Fox. They take some of our best and brightest and they reduce them down to, sucking up to a McKenzie. Where you live at? Because I bet you, if you lived in Baltimore City, you would have a different attitude. Just like cops. If you're a cop that work in Baltimore, but you live in Pennsylvania, you don't have a lot of respect for the community. You just don't. Because you know that you're going to lay your head down in York, Pennsylvania. But if you laid your head down in East Baltimore, you would have more of a vested interest. There's some good cops. There's some good white cops. There's some good white people. Ain't enough of them, though. Edmund Burke said the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. There's some good white people in Baltimore, like the ones helping me with the helping to build a Salvation Army across the street. We appreciate them. There are many good people, black, white, Asian, otherwise, but they got to step up. I'm tired of hearing freak nasty Tharu Vignaraj. Tharu Vignaraj was buying sex on Greenmount Avenue. Before that, he was tricking with using state secrets to talk to a reporter to get some sex. What can this man tell me about? I don't need you to translate for my people. My people are very capable of articulating their pain.
You got this little perennial loser, Thiru Vignarajah, ran for mayor, failed. Ran for state's attorney, failed. Go back and run for mayor again. Go back and run for state's attorney. And now he's the voice of Baltimore? We don't know you. We've rejected you, son. Now you're going to show up on TV with a black family. I'm insulted. Like we need you to speak for us. And black people, stop letting this clown speak for you. What's wrong with you, son? You went to high school. You know how to write a 5-sentence paragraph. Who, what, when, where, why? You got this idiot speaking for you? Wake the hell up, son. That pissed me off more than the damn murder. Like we need this little freak nasty to speak up for us. Thiru? Ain't nothing you can tell me, son. I can't trust a man who can't buy sex effectively. I just can't. Honest to God. A man who can't score, who's got to use state secrets to get sex. Back in college, we called those suckers. Ladies, beware of a man who's going to show you Baltimore at 1 o'clock at night on Green Mountain 25th. I'm sorry, but I don't know no ladies like that I want to personally be dealing with in public. Thiru Vignarajah. Fox, are you serious? But you talk about Marilyn Mosby like she's a dog. And you gonna put a freak nasty. I remember at Fox's town hall over there in Little Italy, Freak Nasty was on the stage, and a Baltimore City cop, it's on my YouTube, a Baltimore City cop came up and said to Freak Nasty, when you got pulled over that night on 25th Street and you called for a supervisor, he called for a supervisor because, excuse me, he knew Green Mountain Avenue was just down the street, Central Booking. He knew all of that was right down the street. And he didn't want to go there because he did some stuff. No prosecutor wants to go to jail. No cop wants to go to jail, including Thiru Freak Nasty Vignarajah, who don't know how to buy sex in Baltimore, who got caught twice. This particular time, it endangered the career, the future. It endangered the future of some Baltimore City cops. And this officer said to him exactly that. So when Thiru comes on like he's the moral compass of Baltimore, I mean, you're supposed to practice what you preach. He's no B. Gaddy. B. Gaddy had a long track record of service. He's certainly not even Jack Young. Jack Young has a long history of service. Anybody in the city who knows Jack Young knows he loves this city. Politics aside, Jack loves the city. He loves the young people. He has been an advocate for baseball in East and West Baltimore. He's dealt with the youth. And this is not a political campaign for Jack Young. I'm just telling you what people know. They know they can find him most any day at Northeast Market, if you know where Northeast Market is. Jack Young, long track record of service. Politics aside, he loves anybody that knows him or even has been around him. They know he loves this city. That's undeniable. More than Freak Nasty. Sheila Dixon. People know that she can get stuff done inside City Hall. I've seen her help people. I have sent people to her. I've brought people to her, and she's helped them navigate City Hall, the policies. It takes a really effective public servant to know the inner workings of city government and how to get things done. She knows that. Everybody knows that. Politics aside, she serves. She understands that. Ruth Kirk, Delegate Ruth Kirk, Squeaky Kirk's mother, the late Ruth Kirk. Long track record of service. Not afraid of her people. She didn't have to go on TV to trash her community in order to get resources. Ruth Kirk was a quintessential politician, able to navigate the waters and make things happen in their community, regularly doing festivals and givebacks and out in the community. We never seen freak nasty Farouk Vigneraj give anything to anybody. Gave them cops a hard way to go because them cops almost lost their job because he wanted to be tricking on Greenmount after dark. Everybody know what go on Greenmount after dark. Nothing good after midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. I hope it was a woman he was in the car with because I heard it wasn't. But he's going to be the moral authority on what Baltimore need. And Fox just cram it down our throats. The same people that own them restaurants, the Atlas Group, them same people who told that black mother, you can't bring your son in here. And she said, wait a minute. There's a white boy dressed just like my son. Look, they are the people who are pushing Question K and term limits and telling you Farouk Vigneraj should be our mayor. Go sit down, son. He want to show up at every press conference like he cares. He wants the political position. He lost. The people rejected him. They won't even let Ivan Bates, they put Farouk on there like he won the election. You're not our man. We don't know you, Slim. You can't even buy sex effectively. We don't know about you. I think you need to go back to school. My daddy did as much as his daddy did in the city. I ain't got to brag on my daddy. My daddy, the people he served. We don't need to keep bringing that up. I don't need to run my political history down to you. They shall know a tree by its fruits. Yeah, your daddy might have been a great public school teacher, but you got caught tricking twice. So he didn't teach you some basics. He need to teach you some common sense. Freak nasty. Every damn day I got to see this idiot. Now, what are the other television stations doing? 13, 11, 2, what are they doing? What are they doing? I mean, Fox just run the same play over and over. What are our other news stations doing? Where Channel 13 at? When we going to get a unique take on them? Yeah, they forgot. Everybody forgot. We have one more guest who I guess forgot. I did send the link out late. I will own that. It's from Mary Carter Smith, about Mary Carter Smith. Okay. Last lesson. If you're in business, last night I shared a picture. Oh, I took it upstairs. Of Dr. Tyrone Taborn, Howard Pete Rawlins, and Bill Jews. Bill Jews, former CEO of Blue Cross Blue Shield, black man. Big mustache, tall, from the Eastern Shore. Black man from the Eastern Shore became the CEO of Blue Cross and Blue Shield, and then Care First. So this was a picture with Dr. Tyrone Taborn, and Delegate Pete Rawlins, the three of them. Tyrone Taborn, Bill Jews, and Delegate Howard Pete Rawlins. And as I was sharing the picture on LinkedIn and writing a caption about Pete Rawlins, that's Stephanie Rawlins Blake's dad, late father. What came to mind was Delegate Pete Rawlins' phone number, 804-0045. As a young reporter 20 years ago, 25 years ago, 29 years ago, he was a servant of Sandtown. Delegate Howard Pete Rawlins was more than a delegate. He was the chair of the House Appropriations Committee in Annapolis. So in the House of Delegates, of the 147 members of the House of Delegates, Pete Rawlins was the chair of the House of Appropriations. That's a big, powerful position. Excuse me. He was a consummate mathematician, and he had a very, very extensive memory. He could remember, if I'm interviewing him, he can remember quotes verbatim 5, 6, 7 lines back. Just had a memory. But what I remember most about Delegate Howard Pete Rawls, and I share this as I think about some of our new delegates on the scene today, especially here in the 40th district. Pete Rawlins answered his phone. He answered his phone at the end of his career like he was running for a career. But you got people today who don't even answer their damn phone. Oh, I can't get back to you today. Can I call you Sunday? What? Marion Barry. Now, I don't have his number memorized. It's in his phone book. But Marion Barry, that's what I admired, appreciated, and adored about him. He answered his phone. He answered his phone. You got politicians today that don't answer their phone. You can't be a public servant if you don't answer your phone. You can't serve the people if you don't love the people. And as it relates to Kevin Hart, Kevin Garnett, Jamie Foxx, and these stupid gambling commercials that come on every other damn commercial, we want to thank you for misunderstanding your platform. And as Malcolm X says, entertainers are not our leaders. So black people, start following leaders and start redefining what a leader is. Start redefining who you actually listen to. We all watch television. We all watch social media. We all get our information from the various sources that are out here. But we really have to reconsider. This is a brand new year, 2023. What are we teaching our young people? Are we thinking them to do as our parents taught us? Critical thinking. There's a corner in my neighborhood. Fremont Lawrence. I've seen people get killed there. I know people got killed there. If you got shot on that corner, would you ever go back to that corner? I can't imagine ever wanting to go back to that corner again. If God bless me to survive getting shot on that corner, why in the world would I ever want to go back and sit on that corner ever again as if that is cool? Now that's insanity. We got some insanity in the black community. Being addicted to crack cocaine is a form of insanity. But so too is having a house that you own where you're paying ground rent. That's insanity. That's ridiculous. That's utterly ridiculous. We got to use our brain, as my dad would say, for something other than a hat rack. We need critical thinking, and we got to get involved and start holding these politicians accountable. So, just for the record, for some giggles, I'm not going to say it all the way. For kicks and giggles, you catch the drift. We have federal elected officials that everybody watching this broadcast can access. You have one congressperson for your area, for your congressional district. So we're talking about the state of Maryland. So I live in the 7th. Our congressperson is Kwesi Mfume. Before that, it was Elijah Cummings, who died in office. Before that, it was Perrin J. Mitchell, who had passed the ball. No, before that, it was Kwesi, and before that, Perrin J. Mitchell. Perrin J. Mitchell did not die in office. He passed the ball. Kwesi won, then Elijah, and then it's back to Kwesi. Don't die in office, people. Pass the ball. That's not the goal. It's not your seat. Pass the ball. Pass the ball, son. Prepare someone to pass the ball, too. Kurt Schmoke, black mayor. 99, 87 to 99, 12 years as mayor. Did not pass the ball to another black person. Passed the ball to Martin O'Malley. However it worked out, that's not the idea. The idea is some consistency. Kurt Schmoke was probably the best mayor of my lifetime, especially for my community. But he did not pass the ball to the next person. Washington, D.C., they have effectively passed the ball from black mayor to black mayor to black mayor for 40 years. Atlanta, Keisha Lance Bottoms, almost didn't make it in there. But she did. She was being challenged in that election by this white lady. Majority black city, home of the civil rights movement. I'm going to say the only home, but certainly a home of the civil rights movement. Baltimore is a home of the civil rights movement. Wherever black people were and black people fought, homes of the civil rights movement. Even New York City, where 22% of the population are black. But they struggle in New York City just like we struggle in Baltimore to get a piece of the pie. And so when you get a black man, you want to get a bigger slice of the pie. Now I just sent you the link. Told me sent you the link. I guess you forgot me. Well, anyway, my name's Donnie Glover. I'm going to get out of here, take a break, take a pause, get on with your day. But we got to use our brain. We got to get into some critical thinking. Stop using our, heads for something other than a hat rack. If it walk like a duck and talk like a duck, it's a duck. If your young person is out here killing people, they going to jail. Or somebody going to kill them. Stop making babies. If you're not going to raise the baby, don't make babies. Don't have sex. You have sex, you make a baby, you got to raise the baby. Not savages. Not people going around shooting people like they don't understand what happens. And then when they finally get caught, oh, not my baby. Yeah, your baby is a murderer. Your baby is on camera right there running. Because that's what cowards do. If you was a man about it, you'd have did it right there and you ain't running. But you're not. A punk with a gun is a man till you get in that jail cell and you ain't got no gun. Now you're giving up 15 years of your life. Naijha, I thought you was coming on the show. I know you were just going to make comments. I did send you the link, Naijha. Anyway, good morning, world. Be nice. I'm getting me some more water. Get some, you ever seen pink strawberry? I saw some pink strawberries. I never saw some pink. We got some fresh fruits and vegetables in our life. I'm ready to go attack this coffee, but let's put some good stuff up in it. It's got some Brussels sprouts I need to cook up. Are you like me? You go to the market, you see stuff that look good, and you get home and you forget to cook it or don't cook it. We all working on it. I'm not trying to be hard on our leaders. But too many of our leaders are on social media every damn day. They're taking pictures to show their work. Your work will be done when we have better things to show on the news than young black men throwing bricks at the penitentiary. Who shoots into a crowd of people? They gonna catch you, son. If what they showed on the news, these two young men, if they are the culprits who shot those 5 students, somebody gonna catch you. And somebody relative gonna bust you right upside your head. Then they gonna pray for you if you live. So we got people just willing to take life as if when you take life, that's not going to cause somebody to want to take your life. Over what? What could a high school student, and don't get me wrong, I know some young people do adult things, but you took their life. You can't give that back. You got to pay for that, son. I know a brother who just came home after 42 years. 42 years. Young man killed someone in my community. He gave up 42 years of his life. He's just coming home. Rudy Williams been on his show. He gave up 31 years of his life. Michael Alston has been on this show. He's given up 27 years of his life. I ain't mad at you, but you gonna run this show. You gonna run the show, and I'm gonna get my coffee. Can I go get a coffee? I mean, I'm over here struggling. My cup is empty. I was like, Renny left me hanging. Naijha left me hanging.
Happy New Year, Donnie. We bringing it in like we always do. Happy New Year.
Can I go get my coffee now? Can you take over? Can you give me 3 minutes?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna let you do your thing. Tell them about what you got coming. We appreciate you, Naijha.
I appreciate you.
You have been a supporter. You've been a help. You've been a teacher. You've been a colleague and a friend. And how old is Pia now?
She's 11. She turned 11 January 2nd. That's why I said, don't have any kids if you ain't gonna show them love, because love is important. They ain't asked to be here. Well, maybe spiritually they did. You got to handle that business. Parents got to handle their business with these children, because these children need love. We still got employees at the Land of Kush. Land of Kush is celebrating 12 years, 12 long years today. And we done seen the youngins come and go, come in and out. They need love. Come down to the Land of Kush and show some love. We got some amazing youth working with us. They need love. Stop having these babies. You ain't gonna love them. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for having me on, Donnie. I know. Looking for links and stuff like that. Donnie's doing the damn thing. Happy New Year to everyone. It's a universal year. Number 7, everyone should be striving to develop and grow and learn. Learn from your mistakes, elevate to the next level. And if you're a parent, you can start by doing that, by showing your child love. Children. Okay, if you got 10 of them, you got to show them all love.
Naijha, what you think when you saw that Emerson Westside situation?
the anger management. I didn't read the story. I'm so tired of reading these stories. It makes me cry. So I because my day starts off great, and then when I see that stuff, it just brings the day down. So
honest question. Do you watch Fox News?
No, the news. I don't watch the news like that no more, Donnie. At one point I did. It's just depressing. I'm looking for the good news now. I'm looking for those stations that are showing good news, because there was a period of time that, whether it was children being abducted, being sexually molested, being trafficked, it's depressing. It really is. It messed us up my whole day. I can't no more. My husband's even stop looking at that stuff, because I'm one person. One person can't do everything. It takes a whole village, a whole community to do something. What we can do is bring people into our spot, teach them what we know, and they either take that knowledge and apply it where they need to apply it. And that's it. That's the love we can show. That's what we could do.
I need you to show me some love. I've been working to master my home cooked collard greens for a long time. You cook collard greens every day. Any suggestions for my collard greens? I mean,
season them. You don't need all that extra. As a matter of fact, anybody tuning in now, if you tune in at 11, you're gonna see this celebrity vegan chef, Sunny Speaks. She just had her collard green recipe featured in Pinky Cole's Eat Plants Bitch book. It ain't that hard. It's coming on at 11.
I like the title of that. I mean, it's
Eat Plants Bitch by Pinky Cole. She has a featured collard green recipe on page 147 in this book. It's not that hard. So stay tuned for that, Donnie. That's what I'm bringing to Black USA News. I'm bringing you that vegan soul through people, culture, and events. So if you don't know, you're going to know. So just tune in.
Wow.
It's not that hard. Season it how you would season anything else. Just, you don't need that meat in there. You don't need the meat.
No, I was thinking about herbs and spices. I mean,
salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder. It's the base. Salt and taste and pepper to your like. Some people like spicy collard greens. I don't like a lot of spice. Put some liquid smoke in there. Smoke it up with some liquid smoke from Bragg's. If you want some smoky in there, it's not that difficult. Google's your friend. Google's your friend. Google is your friend. Trust me. I got the sister on at 11:30. She coming on at 11:30, 11 o'clock. We got a new Black vegan restaurant in Massachusetts opening up this month. So stay tuned 11. You're going to find out all about that. We're going to show you how to be vegan in January. Even if you don't want to stay vegan, we're going to show you how you could do it the easy way. Take the pledge. It's Veganuary. Look at Doni. Veganuary. Stay tuned. 11 o'clock. Black USA News. You're going to hear all about it.
Did you say Veganuary?
Veganuary.
Eat plants, bush. Do you like Kendrick Lamar?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't buy any of his album. I like what he's talking about in his music.
He has a video called The Heart Part 5. It's a spinoff on Marvin Gaye's I Want You. But the video and the use of AI in his video, it is, I had never really peeped his work. I gave him a listen. This young man is super duper talented.
Yeah.
Hey, who did we meet? Who are the celebrities we met at your restaurant? Who is that famous man? Couple of famous people.
Oh, there's a few people that come. We even had a black country singer come in recently. I forgot his name.
My Glover guy.
Oh, Danny Glover, the actor. Yeah.
Like he called Danny Glover. Just yesterday, one of the Osley brothers' wives called me Danny Glover. I was like, no, it's Donnie Glover.
It's not.
And I had to tell a customer service rep the other yesterday, my name is Donald Glover. And you can hear like, is this weird mode?
Right.
Now
you got the celebrity name. Celebrity name. Yeah, people come. We served Erykah Badu this year. We served Erykah Badu this year, 2 days in a row. Yeah, she performed at the Merriweather, and we took food down there. Pia got to meet her. We went in the RV, and she was playing around with Pia, and Pia thought that was her RV. Yeah, Pia got to meet Erykah Badu face to face, chilling in the RV. That was pretty special.
From New York?
Dallas. She's from Dallas.
Erykah Badu is from Dallas.
Yeah, from my understanding, very, very down to earth, chill.
So in my book, I Am Black Wall Street, we talk about the history of blacks, how they got to Oklahoma. So I reveal in that book that there were 70 to 80 black towns in Oklahoma, but East Texas alone had over 500 black towns.
Wow. Wow. It's jumping out there.
Yeah. And
jumping.
The people who came out of Florida went to Oklahoma, didn't like it, went through Texas, creating black towns along the way, and went all the way down to Mexico.
Wow.
From Florida. Wow. They fought their way out of slavery in Florida, went on the Trail of Tears as free men, free women, were promised land in Oklahoma, only to find that it was like the Maryland State Lottery, a setup. And they said, no thanks. And went to Texas. How do you feel about, no, I ain't gonna get you on political, but I will say,
please don't.
$15 billion has come through the Maryland State Lottery since 1973. But as Aaron Maben exposed, we have classrooms with icicles in the winter and classrooms with no air in the warmer months.
They could do better. They could do better. They could do way, way better.
Do you think?
I know. Not a thing. I know.
Do you think there's a correlation between the effectiveness of the Baltimore City public school system and crime in Baltimore? Do you think they are related at all?
Yes, absolutely. And I can tell you, because I spent some time in the schools trying to teach the children, elementary school children, to read. And I only did it for 2 years, and I couldn't last because there was just too many problems. I'm like, okay, we trying to teach them how to read, but young man telling me about how his mother's getting thrown down the stairs by her boyfriend. It's too much for me. They traumatized coming to school. And the school, it's just too many children in the classrooms in the schools. We got children hanging out the windows, nobody saying nothing, boys going in the girls' guy. It is chaotic in some of the schools. I couldn't do it anymore. Because, like I said, I'm one person. And I know people see this. You got to see it. You in the school every day. Nobody's dealing with this stuff.
I think about the lady who had the daycare center out there in Woodlawn, who found out that her husband was molesting the young people in her own damn daycare center. It's like the person whom you trust the most, the person you sleep beside, is the killer, is the enemy. Sleeping with the enemy for real.
It's rough. It's rough, and like I said, it's heartbreaking, and these children have to endure this, and nobody's doing anything about it.
I can't blame anybody about that man's sexual perversion. Who do I blame about that? This is a grown man, and it's easy to look at the young people. Oh, it's the young people. Hold up, this man's 60, 70 years old. So this been going on for a while. Like that priest in Baltimore that got shot 6 times. It had been going on for a while with multiple people. So when that young man put them 6 hot ones up in him, ain't nobody feel sorry for him. We glad he didn't get killed, so the young man didn't get a murder charge. But he deserved a serious, I don't know if he deserved to live.
Since the world has changed,
you can't go
people are just getting sick.
Even the archdiocese and all of these, them men mess with them little boys.
And that's why people are losing faith in some of these religions and these established, and that's just the reality of it. Because if you can't trust the church and the people leading the church, who are you going to trust?
You can't trust the nuns. Because the nun, you can't have all these weird old freaky priests and not have some nuns who co-signing it. You saw something, sister.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Maybe you don't.
I can't work in those environments because I'm a whistleblower. I can't even work in the government because I'll probably be assassinated somewhere running my mouth.
No, there's a lot of light. See, light and darkness can't dwell in the same place. So we just got to get the light back. And that's why we do this show. And I just want to say, really, thank you for helping to strengthen what we're doing. You've been, beyond business. Thank you for being on this network. We need your voice.
Oh, it's important. There's some vegan, because I contribute to a animal rights station, and they was like, "You on where? Black USA News? You talk." Like, that's how we do it. Because if not us, then who? It's us. We in this together. It ain't about just animal rights. We got social justice issues we got to deal. We got health issues. We got all type of stuff going on. So when you look at me, it ain't just about vegan and animal. There's a whole. I'm from the Bronx, New York. Been there, done all that. And was the girlfriend to it. So nobody can tell me nothing.
The first lesson I learned in the Bronx, that Co-op City is a co-op. It is not the projects.
Ooh. I hear that. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for your support, Donnie. A lot of the stuff that I've learned and I'm doing is because watching people like yourself, lifting other businesses up, not being selfish in this whole fake competitiveness. Customers, please be patient with these Black businesses. It's hard on us. A lot of times we're our worst critics. You know what I'm saying? We go through a lot.
McDonald's give you a French fry that's not even biodegradable. It's been in the back of your car since 1972. But you go back to them every day. But let a black business mess up one time, and
Preach.
We all on Facebook.
Preach.
We on Facebook.
Preach.
Now we have an obligation. And
exactly.
That's where I have to thank you, Naijha, for making sure that I didn't go outside over the past 20 years in business with a plaid shirt and polka dot hat and stripes on. If you made sure that I was dressed appropriately. You like it, not that I did, but you wouldn't let me go outside with plaids and stripes and polka dots on. And not that I ever did, but that's what I think of you. You would not know. Hold on, you got a boogie on your nose. You know, I was in a spot last night, and lady, her mom, we used to all work together, and she had a little something on her nose. I said, "You got something on your nose," and she said, "You know, some people don't even tell you."
That's true. You got to. If you wouldn't want somebody to tell you, like, why not? Why are we embarrassed about that? It happened. We human. People walking around like they perfect. Ain't nobody out here perfect. Everybody got flaws.
Did you have any thoughts before we go? I mean, it's the beginning of the year. We're still in seasonal depression. I'm shifting gears a second. I just want to ask, because as we're speaking life, it's real. The young man, we saw him on television, Twitch. We saw him on television. We saw him doing a TikTok dance 1 second, and moments later, he's in a suicide scenario. Or we see the young men running through the alley who just shot 5 high school teeny boppers up at Emerson Westside. I can't imagine. Maybe one of the 5 might have done something to cause somebody to get angry, but for who did what to cause somebody to shoot 5 students?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's sad.
Homicide, we got a lot of side. We got to kill these sides. Homicide, suicide. Help me out, Naijha. Your final word.
Well, you got to take care of yourself. You know, mental illness is real, and you know, we're running out doing things for everybody else and waiting for everybody else's acceptance. We need to accept ourselves. We need to love ourselves. You know what I'm saying? If you don't love you, you ain't gonna love nobody. You know what I'm saying? Stop trying to do things to be accepted by others. I don't care if it's white people, whatever. Accept yourself first. Love yourself. Try love. This is the year. Try love. If anything, do you and do it well, because nobody can do you but you. And love it. Don't go out and please nobody else. Forget that. We all from different tribes. I don't want you to be like me, Donnie, because you got to be like you. And that's why I love you and all the people that's like them. And no, we all may not get along. That's all right. Because somebody is going to get along with you. And that's all that matters, that you love yourself and accept that. That's all I got to say. You don't got to like me. I don't want everybody like me.
Well,
like you.
It's 10:09, and we'll see you in a little bit. Thank you for saying hello to us this morning.
Happy New Year. Come down Atlantic Kush, y'all. Celebrate 12 years. We still here. All right, everyone. Take it easy. Bye-bye.
Good morning, world. Thank you.